Firstly, let me thank the BW team for having put up such a good show, and thank you for all of you to turn up in numbers. And what I'm going to cover over the next few minutes is going to be focusing on how do you look at new age technologies to deliver quality, both on the skilling side, how do you keep pace with latest and the best in the digital and the creative space, which is relatively new, but it's one of the fastest growing industry in the world in India from a skilling and development standpoint. B, in terms of how do you look at keeping pace with respect to R&D. How do you look at developing more and more entrepreneurs on these new age skilling side as an area. So let me begin with a quick introductory video on what we feel is the new age era looking like. One of the quick things that I'd like to highlight upon is future skills. And skills today is everything associated with the changing world on experiential. We are in an era of digital experience, and it's all about experiential delivery that makes or breaks an engagement in the industry today. It's not just confined to an e-commerce world or anything to do with a specific IT world. It's online and offline in a very big way. So now what does that translate to, and what is Adobe's core mantra that's been for the last 35 years has been on delivering uncharted, unprecedented experiences across the world. And you all know us as a PDF and a Photoshop company. We are much beyond that. We have delivered in excess of about 500 odd products in the marketplace today, both on the digital media, digital marketing, e-learning, and whole host of things around the Acrobat and e-signature as an offering. Just a quick glimpse of where and what is our footprint in India. We have two large locational presence from R&D, engineering, sales and marketing effort, and whole host of things around the digital creation side, from the product creation side, Bangalore and Noida. About 6,000 plus people across the country. We're coming up with an artificial intelligence facility in Hyderabad. It was announced earlier last year. And as we move in to the new age engagements, what we've been trying to do in India as an effort to bring in the best of the breed know-how of what every industry vertical, every commercial customer, every enterprise customer, government institutions across the world are looking at adopting these trends, are looking at adopting these skill sets to build their next generations to deliver the experiential wave that I just showcased to you. So some of the quick industry trends, let me just quickly take you through this journey for about next 5 minutes. A growing chorus across all the boardrooms today. Digital transformation, used and abused in a very big way, this term, but what I mean and what Adobe literally stands for is, does it cater to the lowest common denominator in the society at large? Does it really cater to the entire societal educational system, be it formal or informal, in a very big way, in an experiential format? And that's what we are looking at delivering. This is not a fictional video. This is live products in utility. Some of them are actually in the beta testing stage. So again, reiterating on the fact that it's all about experiences. People really don't care about brands anymore. People really don't care about technology platforms. All they care about is experiences. I'm sure all of you are using some of these technologies and the end utilities in the way you want it. You like them and hence you use them. It's not because it's an Adobe or a Microsoft or any of the other organizations that you may be loving to work for. Right? Now, quickly jumping on, what are the new age trends that are moving on in today's context? It's all about design-led innovations, right? Unless and until we cater to the end consumer's need, there's no point in any of these technologies as an area. For example, in Ola, I'm sure all of you use Ola as a service, which does not even own a single fleet, right? They use technology platform to deliver one of the most customized and rich experience when it comes to point-to-point transportation as an area. Similarly, many of these other engagements that you may be doing, Amazon.com and Flipkart and Myntra's, which you may be using in and day out, right? So a quick sneak peek into what does it take to create something like this, a mammoth engagement which is rich in experience. It's all about content creation, engagements from a collaboration standpoint, social media engagements, analytics with high-end analytical algorithms being inbuilt into it, and last but not the least, how do you monetize them? Call to action is a very, very important action, and this is the rock bed of the entire industry of digital, which has erupted in the last 4 to 5 years. And needless to say, India is a mobile-first country, and we're going to exploit it to the fullest extent. It's already touched a peak, and I think it's going to go up much more faster than what we are currently seeing it. Now, quickly switching gears to educational institutions, what does it mean to you as an educational institution? What does it mean to you as a aspiring professionals? So this industry is given rise to a whole new area or a whole new department in every organization called as digital office or a creative office or an digital engagement as an office, what we call as CDO's office. So this has erupted into a whole new area of skills that are in high demand. I'm going to talk about top 5 skills that are in high demand in the current landscape, and there are about 40 to 45 of them, and this is in excess of about 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh open positions in the marketplace in India when we speak about unemployability on the other side. And I would like you to pay attention to these 5 slides because these are very, very critical ones, because this will make or break a lot of things that you are trying to achieve from engaging into or tapping into the skilling and development open opportunities, or it could be entrepreneurship within your universities, institutions on the other side, or it could be anything to do with R&D which you're trying to do and develop for a country like India or anywhere in the world, because this is universal, more or less. So first things first, everybody wants to touch and feel a product. Nobody is keen on buying anything without touching and feeling a product, but it's practically impossible for anyone to get each one of these products from a touch and feel standpoint. So that is where a VR and AR comes into picture, and most important, I think, how you present this particular product line or an offering or a service makes or breaks the particular sale or an engagement with an end customer, and you have 3 seconds to 4 seconds online to showcase this. So virtual reality is one of the critical engagements in that platform. Let me show you, what Adobe has been doing in this space so that it enriches the engagement on the overall consumer side. So having said that, this is one of the skills, and the next one which we are referring to is on UI UX. There's a case in point about what is the total spend on the AR VR side. UI UX is well known to most of you from the engineering and technology background. What I'm referring to is a non-coded, quick run-of-the-mill, web creation and web engagement in a split-second engagement model. This is one of the top skills in demand. Open positions exceed about 50,000 plus in the current marketplace. Knowledge of Adobe becomes critical in this area. Quickly moving on in the interest of time, I have next one on technical writing, which is essentially focusing around. We have technical writing as an area which we are looking at, as a critical skill. We have web design development and mobile application development as a, another area that we are looking at. Last but not the least, on the film and a whole host of things around the VFX and animation, which most of you know us for. Digital architecture, this is one area which I'd like to spend a quick 30-second on. This is on the civil and the structural side of it, essentially helping engineers and structural professionals reimagine the way in which things are getting done in the country, and this is something that I'd like to highlight from the civil, structural, and the architectural side of the fence, and Adobe becomes a critical area in that side. Desktop publishing, this is on the essential skill to do with e-engagements, anything to do with the physical to digital side of it from a print and publishing industry, which is one of the fastest growing in the country and in the world. We spoke about video editing and post-production. The point I'd like to highlight upon is the latest in the technology, which is OTT, over the top. You've seen a lot of channels move from TV to the mobile or the screen-based area. The number of people who are required to run these kind of operations in the video editing and post-production is increased significantly. Film, TV, post-production, game design is another big industry which is booming in a very, very big way. Needless to say, you have tons of opportunities in all. I'd like to just summarize that this is about 1.5 lakh open positions and more in the unlisted or the MSME space. The next question obviously you guys will have is, where do these children go? Where are the opportunities from an employability standpoint? I'll run you through some of the top industries which are actually having open positions, which are hiring in big numbers, which are running and thriving on these large numbers. E-commerce is one of them. Some of them are, if you were to just reimagine how a big billion day is run in India, it requires about 10,000 professionals to make something like this and make it run. Airlines, anything to do with your transportation as an industry today thrives on online as an area. Needless to say, again, Adobe plays a crucial role, and they are all having chief digital officers running these games for them in a very big way. ITITs, these are service providers, solution integrators. Some of these names are all probably some of your recruiters too, but you need to go back to them and ask them, are they recruiting you for digital and creative practice? If not, talk to us. We will help you get there on that side. These are some of the largest recruiters in the country on the digital side. All of them are Adobe partners in one way or the other. Print and publishing. Every single print and publishing, vernacular, English, international, or on our platforms right now, and they are setting up exclusive digital practices. Just to give you some shapes and numbers, Malayala Manorama, which you see on the left-hand side, is one of the largest, and the oldest in the print and publishing side, and they've completely shifted to the digital side of it from an Adobe angle, and I think they have about 600, 700 people running the show on the digital and Adobe side. EdTech, the other side of the education space, which is now shifted gears, is again one of the largest employers too. Case in point, Baidu. Most of you are familiar with Baidu and various other online players. They have hundreds of openings which actually are looking at creating these contents and engagement. So with that, I'll just quickly skim through some of the educational institutions who have been part of our partnerships. We have an academy initiative which helps you to set up center of excellences. I'm more than happy to take this conversation offline. We give you technology access, curriculum support, FDPs, online social media platform for faculties and students to showcase their talent. And last but not the least, certifications as a model. Quick sneak peek on what the media has to say of what you would miss if you are not catching up on this skilling and association side. All the names on the left and right hand side of the bottom are all our commercial and education customers who've caught up pretty early in the game, 6 to 7 years ago. With that, that's me. Please reach out. Thank you so much for your time.